All right, welcome to the second episode of the Chameleon Media Podcast. I'm your host, Will Santana. I'm here with Lack Grizzly, the insane guy. He's crazy.
Wow.
He has a head, but ain't got no screws in it. I had to drop the Tupac line on you. He has a full set of hair and wants to go bald. There's a lot of guys who would love to have hair.
I like to be bald. I was bald for over 10 years. I just decided to recently grow my hair just so I could do my character at Dragon Con. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want my freaking hair anymore.
But like, you do realize there's a lot of people who wish they could have hair, right?
Yeah, well, let them wish. They ain't me.
That's so messed up.
They ain't messed up.
All right, well, we got a lot going on today, guys. We have an exclusive interview with Jim Shooter, Marvel DC comic book writer. He's a legend. Been writing for DC since the age of 14, Lack.
Wow.
All right, we're going to talk some Living Color reunion here. We're going to talk some Wu-Tang series.
Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang.
It's on your brain.
Ooh, ooh.
And Lack,
glad ain't nothing. What?
Lack, let's let them know about the interview you got.
I got an interview?
Yeah, you interviewed him.
Oh, you talking about Dunn.
There you
Brandon
go.
Dunn, my bad. I interviewed this light-skinned guy named Brandon Dunn.
Why you just got to be light-skinned?
I interviewed this guy named Brandon Dunn.
All right, we're going to talk some Bill and Ted 3. Lack has his Us review. I haven't seen it yet, so he'll give us a little short review.
Yeah, he sucks.
I might leave because I don't want no spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it just in case our listeners haven't listened to it yet.
We might do a little
it,
Avengers talk, too. Little Avengers coming out next month.
Endgame.
And then I might do a little Transformer rant. At least part 1 today. At least part 1.
Looking forward to that.
Dora is coming out soon. They finally dropped the trailer for Dora the Explorer.
Man, you told me to look that up. I ain't gonna watch that crap.
No, we're not the target audience, but
Like
my 9-year-old, she's not excited for it at all. She saw the trailer and no. The 6-year-old didn't even finish watching the trailer. She walked away. So
yeah, I don't even think my daughter excited for it anymore.
yeah, I think the target audience has lost a lot of interest in Dora. That's just my opinion, though.
Like they're coming out with a whole movie.
Yeah. You haven't seen the trailer?
No.
Okay, don't watch it. Stay away.
I don't understand. Like, hasn't Dora like been off air for a while or something?
I have no idea, man. All right, but let's get into Living Color, man. You can do what you wanna do in Living Color. All right, so Living Color is having a 25-year reunion, and they'll be playing the pilot episode on the big screen. Your opinion, your thoughts, Lack?
Why gotta just be the pilot episode? Like, why can't we get like the best of Fire Marshal Bill and the best of Wanda and the Sweet Tooth Jones and all these crazy folks that they had on there, man. And then like when they were showing all of them together on a picture, it seemed like they were going to actually shoot something new. But reading is fundamentals, and I didn't read it. I just got excited. I said, "Oh, snap! They're finna do another Living Color." So now I'm just kind of disappointed.
Which cast member would you want at the reunion? There's a lot, so
I want all of them.
you want all of them.
All of them. Even when they had to bring new people on there, I want them too. Even though they weren't
too?
as good, I want them too.
What about Sean Wayne? Should he be SW1 or
Why not?
He's got to be the DJ, right? At the reunion.
I mean, because I'm pretty sure he didn't lose his touch. He probably still does it from time to time just for fun. Because I know a lot of folks who used to DJ back in the day professionally, but they still got all their equipment and all that. And they just DJ for fun now.
Does he have to do it vinyl only?
That would be dope.
Yes, it would.
I mean, they still make vinyl, so why not?
Oh, yeah. And vinyls are back, man.
I mean, they got a ton of vinyls. Like, when I started seeing all of these newer records coming out, soundtracks and all that up there at 2nd and Charles, I was like, oh, yeah.
I'm excited. I hope somebody videotapes this reunion. You know, I want to see it. I believe
where is it being released?
I believe they're going to do this at a movie festival.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you have to attend the festival in order to be part of the reunion. But I've seen some other reunions where they did videotape it and they got it on YouTube. Like Salute Your Shorts had one, Wild and Crazy Kids had one on YouTube. So it would be kind of cool, man, to see all these people if you can't attend the festival itself.
Dope.
Yeah, man. So you got any last thoughts about a Living Color reunion?
Nah.
No?
I just want to Blu-ray. Wayans is the man, bro.
Oh, outside of the cast, should the Fly Girls and Rosie Perez attend, since Rosie Perez was the choreographer for the Fly Girls?
As long as they get J-Lo.
J-Lo has to be there?
Yep.
Yeah, she has to. She was there from the first season. She became the star.
She finer now than she was back then.
I didn't think she was fine back then.
Man, she fine now.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Like, I started noticing J-Lo in Anaconda.
I think I was noticing her before that.
She was thick in Anaconda. Boy, I said, ooh, look at all that dude.
Well, you so stupid. You married. All right, let's move on to another topic. Let's get into some Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang. By the way, Inspector Deck is the best Wu-Tang member. I don't care what anybody says. That's my opinion.
He has the most iconic verse.
He's the most lyrical, in my opinion. I'm sticking with my gun.
I'm sticking with Ghostface.
I can't argue Ghostface, but Inspector Deck's still the best. All right, so Wu-Tang is dropping a docuseries on Showtime. Lack, you excited?
Yes and no.
Give us the reason why yes and the reason why no.
Yes, because it's freaking Wu-Tang, man.
Mm-hmm.
No, because it's on Showtime. I ain't got Showtime.
Yeah, get a Fire Stick.
I don't want a Fire Stick.
Okay, get another application to watch it on. You know you can stream it somehow, somewhere. It'll be available.
I ain't quit tripping, man.
Well, what do you want to see from this show, man?
Man, I'm trying to see the history, where they, I want to see everything. How they got together, how they all had their individual deals but still came together as a group, how ODB's death affected them, what they're doing now, how they influenced all these other sections of Wu. You had the Killer Army and Sons of Man and all these extra people. I want to see what they doing. Like, I want them to get as deep as possible. The ones that are still, the most active. Ghostface just dropped one. Rec One dropped one not too long ago. I heard Master Killer was gonna drop one. I don't know if he dropped it already or not. But all I know that Faces of Death series that Ghostface doing right now is killing it though.
So you want them to have the affiliates involved in the documentary, like the Killer Army? And
I want everybody.
You want everybody involved? I don't know if they can do that. It's going to be for a pretty long documentary.
Yeah, I mean
it is a series, though.
Yeah, I'm about to say they got time.
It is a series, so they can leave that room for if they're going to do a season 2 or something. That'd be kind of pretty cool. I want to see a lot. I just don't want it to be bland, kind of like what was that documentary from the Dungeon family, the Organized Noise one? That one was kind of bland to me.
For me, it wasn't bland because the art of organized noise was meant for people like me. I'm a producer. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate the things that Sleepy Brown and all of them did for Wade and the other guy, I can't remember. I'm having brain farts right now, but I love what they did as far as bringing that sound together. Rico Wade, he was just bouncing off the walls all the freaking time, and Sleepy Brown, he was always just laid back, and I cannot remember the name of the third guy. What is going on? But anyway, and then to be able to bring in other members of the Dungeon family and showing where they recorded down there in that old musty basement and all that. And I mean, to me, that was life, bro. Because I came up doing the same thing. I
hope they do include the Wu producers. Of course, RZA, Fourth Disciple, True Master, Mathematics. So I do hope they do involve their producers, man. That'd be kind of
man.
cool.
That'll be so freaking dope, man. Because like, there was one guy I was talking. Well, I'm not gonna say his name this time, but he was bashing everybody who used Fruity Loops, and I was like, "Yo, Fruity Loops done came a long way." Mm-hmm. So I mean, and then when I told him the RZA uses Fruity Loops, he was like, "No, he don't. No, he does." I said, "Yes, he does." Just like Ninth Wonder uses Fruity Loops also. I mean, don't get me wrong; they have Logic and Pro Tools and all that, but sometimes they just want to do it the simple way and use Fruity Loops.
There's small things I would like also from the documentary for them to mention, the Woo Wear clothing line.
Man, I had a closet full, bruh.
The PlayStation 1 video game.
And I thought it was dope. It even had fatalities. And they had like songs in there that was like exclusive to the game. Man, that's so dope, bruh.
All right, 3 questions, Lack. What's your favorite Woo album? What's your favorite Woo solo album? And then what's your favorite Woo affiliate album?
That one's kind of tough.
Yeah, of course it is. But I got to put you on the spot.
Dang, man. I mean, I'm going to have to go with Wu-Tang Forever for the group album because that was the very first hip-hop album I ever bought. Mm-hmm. Like, 'cause I was a late bloomer when it came to hip-hop. And, well, I bought Wu-Tang Forever and AT Aliens at the same time. Like, my head was screwed. As far as a solo album, that daggum Jizza, Liquid Swords, man.
Right now we're together. Wu-Tang Forever is my favorite Wu album, and then Jizza Liquid Swords is my favorite solo.
But I'm in the balance though, because between that Liquid Swords and that Iron Man, bro.
Well, Iron Man's up there too.
Those are my 2 favorites right there, and I'm kind of like I'm back and forth between them. But that Raekwon, that first one, you see what I'm saying?
Purple tape.
I'm just like, oh my god, I don't.
All right,
if I had a gun to my head, I would have to say, I
gotta go with Jizza.
I'm gonna have to go with that Liquid Swords, man. And my favorite Wu affiliate album, does it have to be a group or can it be a solo?
It could be a solo member.
That gonna Killer Priest, bruh.
Killer Priest, the heavy metal.
Yes, the heavy metal. I used to bang that, bro. Oh, I was too short to box with God. Ooh. But yeah, man, that daggum Killer Priest was a beast, man. But I like that Sons of Man album too, though.
That Sons of Man really. The first time I listened to it, I didn't understand it because I didn't know what they were talking about. They went to a full religion type thing that I didn't understand at that age.
Yeah.
My favorite.
You shine a star. Go ahead.
You so stupid. My favorite affiliate album, I gotta go with the first Gravediggers.
That one was
I
hard,
love that album, but I'm gonna cheat here. My favorite affiliate song though is "Where Was Heaven" by Wu Syndicate. I just love that song, man.
Oh,
that's my jam, man. I'm sorry. So I cheated, and I'm sticking with it. I don't care.
I mean.
That's my favorite track of all time from a Wu affiliate, man. I love that song.
I don't know, because that what's the name of that track they had the video for with Killer Army?
Talking about Soldiers of Darkness?
That boom, 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 boom.
I don't know why.
Hold up, I'm finna pull it up. But while I'm finna pull that track up, I want to hear your opinion as far as why these dudes ain't never let Redman into Wu-Tang.
I mean, he was on Death Squad already.
So?
He got 2 albums with Method Man. He was featured on the W album. I think they gave him his due diligence.
For security reasons, I'm broadcasting from a beaming on your dome when the shades.
That ain't it. Hold on. Nope.
That ain't it. I think you talking about Soldier of Darkness.
Oh, I remember this joint here.
Oh, I think you talking about Wake Up.
No, that ain't it.
Are you talking about Wake Up?
No, that's not it. Man, where is it?
Are you talking about Killer Army and Soldier Man?
Yeah, Killer Army.
Type in Soldier of the Dark.
Dirty Weaponry. I think that was the album. The Shootout. That's what it was.
Soldier Man wasn't on that one.
No, I said this. Oh! Oh!
Well, you know the video, the song had a different name on the video.
What was it?
Obstacle. Because remember in the video they were going through an obstacle course.
Yes. But that's like one of my favorite songs, man.
There's another song, man, from Killer Army that I love, and it was on their weakest album. It was a song called Feel It. Man, they were talking about some real stuff on that song, man. Okay, yeah. We can talk about
Yeah, I'm about to say, we going to have us a whole hip-hop discussion here, man. This ain't a hip-hop thing. We're supposed to be talking about the film. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to find some kind of way to watch it, man. I might just have to, depending on how long the series is, I may have to just subscribe to Showtime or something for a little while.
So they're going to get your money temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily. Y'all
I'm sure they have free trials, too, so you might want to wait till the season's over.
Oh, yeah, now I can binge watch it. Yeah. Hey, we ain't afraid to let y'all know what we do around here, pimping.
All right, guys, let's move on. Recently, I went to the Huntsville Pop Culture Comic-Con, and I had a chance to interview legendary Jim Shooter. And
Jim Kapow.
Let's get into that interview right now. I'm here with legendary Jim Shooter. Well, welcome, Jim.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Hey, how's it going, man? How's it been your trip here in Huntsville?
It's been great. Getting here is a little difficult, connecting in Atlanta and all that stuff like that. But once you're here, it's all worth the trip. People are nice here. This is a great convention.
Well, where are you living right now, Jim?
New York area. Just outside of the city.
Oh, okay, see, I'm originally from Brooklyn.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, I lived in Nyack. You know Nyack. Yeah. Okay.
Well, Jim, my big question is, how did you get discovered at such a young age?
What I did was I decided I wanted to write comics. I was 12 years old, and I literally spent a year studying comics.
Do you remember what your first comic was?
Well, my first comics were when I was really, a little kid before first grade. My mother used to read me Uncle Scrooge and stuff, Superman, and there wasn't a whole lot of variety back then. And then when I was 12, I discovered Marvel comics, and they were just so good that I said, I'm going to learn how to do this, and then I could sell stories, because if I could learn how to do this. I decided I'd better try DC because I didn't think I could compete with Stan Lee. so I just created a story. I didn't know what a script looked like, so I made it look as much like a comic book as I could. I did little layouts for every panel, and I made a cover, and I actually did the cover in color so they could really see what I intended it to look like. And sent it off to New York to the editor of DC Comics, Mort Weisinger, and he sent me a letter back saying, send me another one. So I actually made a 2-part story, and I sent him that, and then he called me, and he said, we want to buy these 3, and we want to start using you as a regular writer. And your first, I'm going to start giving you assignments. Your first assignment is Supergirl, 12 pages next week. I said, sure, And I actually have I don't have a copy of the book, but I have a copy of the cover here. It was my first assignment, and then I was at that point I was 13, and then I soon after turned 14, and I was in 9th grade, and I worked my way through high school.
You need to get a copy of that book.
I have a copy somewhere, but this thing started. This is all my show and tell from 54 years in comics. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's just what was on the top of the boxes and what was easy to find. That's all I can carry. I could fill all these tables.
Oh wow,
with stuff, but it started getting really heavy. So for a couple books, I used the copy of the cover. Were
you that kid like every Sunday you couldn't wait to read the Sunday comics? You had to get your hands on them.
Yeah, I loved comics. I used to, and when I was, before I started working, after Marvel Comics came out, I'd be on my bicycle headed for the drugstore, every week to try to see if they had the latest issues. And distribution was spotty, so sometimes they didn't. You had to go to more than one drugstore. And I would, walk along the railroad tracks and find old soda bottles because you could return them for 2 cents a piece. So if you got 6 of them, you could buy a comic book. I was into it. And I loved the Sunday, the funnies in the Sunday paper, and I know, but I was sort of a student of the game. While I was looking at him, I was saying, "Oh, I see what he did."
Is there a comic you wish you could have got your hands on that you wish you wrote for?
Well, I don't know. I guess, I wish I'd seen some of the old Fawcett Captain Marvels. I wish I had a couple of those because I love C.C. Beck. I got to meet him down in Florida one time, and he actually had a little, like a newsletter. I think it was called The Curmudgeon or something, and he was great. But at first he said, "I hate modern comics. I don't like you." And I said, "No, I think you and I have some common ground." And we talked for a while, and since I was all about story and storytelling and stuff like that, he eventually decided he'd send me his newsletter.
Okay. Are you on the side right now with the movies, with the Marvel or DC? Are you favoring one over the other?
I think the Marvels have generally been better, although Wonder Woman was pretty good, and by all accounts, Aquaman was pretty good. I haven't seen yet Aquaman. I saw Wonder Woman, but most of the Marvel movies have been really pretty good.
Have you seen Captain Marvel yet? No,
I haven't. It just came out, right?
Yeah, it just came out this Friday.
I haven't had time to see it, and but I will eventually. It's sort of. Actually, at this point, it's sort of it's my duty. I have to go.
Okay, last question, Jim.
Sure.
What guests out here have been excited to see?
Well, it's nice to see Lou Ferrigno.
Lou Ferrigno?
I met him back when I was early on at Marvel in the 70s, and when the Hulk was on TV, and he came up to Marvel to visit with his wife, and I met him, and occasionally run into him here and there, and it's always nice to say hello and if he has a minute to chat with him. So that was kind of a big deal. But every time I go to a convention, I see lots of guys I haven't seen for 20 years, or some of my favorite people, and also meet lots of people. So it's great.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Jim, man. I appreciate your time, man. It's an honor to sit next to a legend in the comic book world.
Thank you.
And thank you, man.
Thanks a lot.
All right, guys, we're back. Hope you guys enjoyed that interview. Lack, what did you think about that interview from Jim Shooter?
Dude seems like pretty nice, and you can tell he thoroughly enjoys what he does, and to be in it from that early of an age and still in it now, that shows you it doesn't feel like it's a job to him. And I love what he was. I love what he said about, man, won't nobody mess with Stan Lee, bro.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm paraphrasing here, but yeah, he seemed like a real genuine guy, man.
Yeah, I loved how he gave Stan Lee some respect, even when he was working for DC.
Of course.
And I love the Lou Ferrigno shout out. That was pretty cool, man.
Dude is humongous still.
Can you take Lou Ferrigno, man?
Yeah, no.
All right, guys, let's go move on, and we're gonna let Lack give us his Us review.
Yeah, that's my intro music. All right. For all of those who have seen Us, you will understand when I say this is not your typical horror movie. It is, in my opinion, not even a horror movie. It's not what you think it is. It is something like you're going to be like, oh my God. You start thinking you know what's going on. But then by the time you get to the middle of the story, you're kind of like, oh, snap. And then he had but suspenseful. Yes, it was very suspenseful. It kept you wanting more. I started getting real suspicious very early in the movie, but I knew how Jordan Peele was, so I didn't try to figure the movie out as soon as it came on. A lot of people have a lot of different speculations about the movie because it's very symbolic. He has a lot going on. You have to pay attention to the smallest, minute, little everything in there. When it ends, you're going to kind of be like, "That's it." What? So Us is one of those movies you're going to have to watch 2 or 3 times to understand it in its entirety. Jordan Peele, he's a genius. I got to give it to him. I'm not going to say it was better than Get Out. I think that initial surprise I got from Get Out, especially towards the end of the movie, I think I was more shocked from Get Out. But as far as if I rated the movie 1 through 10, I would have to give it like a 9. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. There was not one part in there where I got bored. Some of it was a tad cheesy, but it wasn't enough of it that made me want to get up and walk out the theater. I mean, I would definitely recommend this movie, and it's something I can watch more than once. You're going to want to watch it more than once simply because you're not going to figure everything out in there.
Do you feel Jordan Peele is growing as a director and a writer?
Yes, I will say that. And his choice, I know it wasn't completely up to him, but his choice of music, his cast, the way he has the family set up, quote unquote, living the American dream versus the clones, there's like a significance behind that. And like I said, I'm not going to spoil the movie, but you have to pay attention to every little thing on there. There's a reason, like some of them are going through the whole movie.
So is it one of those movies, if you go to the restroom, you're going to be lost and confused, you're done?
That's quite possible.
Okay.
I used to be spot on with these movies. Like I can figure the movie out within the first 30 to 45 minutes. Now, since I haven't been to the movies lately, I just started recently going back. I'm kind of out of touch. So when I got to the end of the movie, I was like, huh? So did that really happen? Or what if, I'm questioning myself. So what if this part meant, well, hold up. Well, at the beginning of the movie, so I'm kind of like throwing myself through all these different loops, and which, of course, makes me want to go watch it again.
Okay, so you were playing the guessing game as you were watching it.
Exactly. Okay. I was actually trying to figure out, this movie ain't finna stump me, and it got me. So, but as far as horrific, I mean, it's somewhat gory, but there's a reason, all of them was in them same jumpsuits and had on them Jesus sandals and all that.
Don't you dare spoil it.
Oh, I'm not gonna spoil. I mean, this is stuff you can see in the trailer.
I know.
Why there's a reason they got scissors in their hands and all that stuff. There's a reason behind everything in that movie.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I appreciate that, man. I definitely want to check it out, man.
Yeah.
Out of 1 through 5, what will you give the score?
4.
4? Not 4.5?
5.
Okay.
4.5.
4.5. 4.5. 4.5. That's not bad then.
Yeah. Like I said, the only reason I had to take off the 0.5 because there was some stuff in there that was kind of cheesy. And it took away from the entertainment level. But other than that, I mean, the movie was great. I enjoyed it.
Okay, I like I said, I can't wait to check it out, man. I definitely want to see it. I wasn't a big fan of Get Out, but Get Out was not a bad movie. I want to see this one.
Well, you might actually enjoy this one a little bit more than Get Out then.
Okay.
Like some people, I enjoyed Get Out because, like I said, the movie was really suspenseful. And I think throughout the entire movie, I kept cracking up because I kept thinking about that guy that just ran towards the camera and zoom and took off. And I knew in the back of my mind, they're going to turn this into a challenge, man. And they're already turning things from us into a challenge now.
I think Get Out to me was doomed from the get-go. I hate when people hype it up and people always tell me, Will, you got to see this. Will, you got to see that. Because when I do watch it, after so many people done talked about it, the hype is built so high, my expectations are now so high. And
right.
that's
why I always want to go check them out before people
hype.
start. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that happened with Get Out, Breaking Bad. Those are things like people just kept talking about, and then when I finally watched it, I'm like, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but
Right.
That's
about like what was that movie? Bird Box.
Oh yeah,
Man, the
one on
Bird Box
Netflix.
sucked. I don't care what nobody say. That movie sucked. It didn't have a definite plot. You didn't know how it started. You don't know how it's gonna end. Just because you there with a bunch of blind people don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and what exactly was it that was coming to take over? Was the world ending? Did somebody have some kind of disease or something? Why were the only people who was able to deal with the people were the crazy ones? Why they think everything was beautiful? Like, it left too many unanswered questions. I understand a cliffhanger, but they just fell all the way off the daggum side of the mountain because don't nobody know anything about what's going on with that movie. It's stupid.
I thought Bird Box was okay.
Ooh, I almost said something I ain't supposed to say. I don't want to be politically incorrect.
I thought it was okay. My issue was they kept doing the flashback, and I wish they would have did the flashbacks things first, because with the present time, you knew how the flashback was going to end.
Man, I fell asleep like halfway through the movie, and I woke myself up. I was like, I'm not even going to rewind it. I'm not mad that I missed this little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm a hard person to please when it comes to movies, but even if the movie is really suspenseful, it needs to make some kind of sense. And that movie just did not make any sense to me. It's just, people just start randomly killing themselves and banging their heads on walls, and now you can't look outside because as soon as you look outside, you're going to go crazy too. Like,
all right, let's move on from us and Bird Box. I don't know how Bird Box came in here, but all right, let's move on. Recently, Lack got to interview a buddy of his named Brandon Dunn. Lack, tell him a little bit about Brandon before we get into the interview.
He's tall. He's light skinned.
Oh my God, we're back to the light skin thing.
He has
I'm talking about his work, man.
hair.
Give him his work. Now that he's light skinned.
We went to Buffalo Wild Wings and had to almost become the guy's bodyguard because all these chicks was getting ready to jump on him, and I'm like, oh my goodness, man, leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but no, overall, he's a real good dude. He's talented. He's an actor, a producer, songwriter. Name of the dude knows some kind of martial arts. He can wield nunchucks like any other kung fu master. Like, ain't nothing this dude can't do, man. So, yeah, enjoy the interview. Let me know what y'all think. Yeah. All right, we're finna welcome to the show. We got Brandon Dunn, actor, producer. What else you do, bro? You light skinned?
Yeah, I'm light skinned.
You in shape?
I'm in shape. I lift weights. Get off the couch, y'all. Get off the couch now. Drink your alkaline water.
Oh, what's good, man? How you doing, though?
I'm living, man. I'm blessed, bro. I'm good. Good.
Okay, so as far as your acting career, how long you been in it, man?
I started really getting serious about acting like 2011, 12-ish. Because before that, I was doing like music videos. I was trying to get in. Like, I started in like 2009, you know. I just thought there was a way, like, just go and let people see you. And maybe somebody come by and say, hey, here's my card. I like your look. But, you know, things work unexpectedly sometimes. So not how you expect them to work. So
Right. So as far as when you started taking it serious, were there some projects you had to kind of prepare for, or you had to try to meet a certain weight, or like which ones were hard, which ones were easy? Like, elaborate.
So the first there's a difference. I'm gonna break this down. There's a extra role, and then there's a principal. So getting principal roles where you're speaking are much harder. Getting extra roles or background roles, super easy. And that's how I started. I was just doing extra roles. So you don't have to prepare for any of extra or background. You just basically, they give you a costume, they tell you where to stand, they tell you what to do, and they say, don't talk.
Okay.
Don't say nothing. Pantomime. Do you know how to talk but not let anything come out? That's what we want you to do. So I had to learn the hard way that I wasn't really in the movie. When they told me I was in the movie, I wasn't really in the movie.
Right.
I don't have a character name. When the credits go up and all the little names and you see the names, I never saw my name. And so I was like, okay, I've been doing this for a long time and I haven't gotten a break. So I need to figure something out.
Okay, so what routes did you take to where you ended up in some of these big boy movies like Fast and the Furious and Bad Boys?
I started looking for speaking roles. And the first speaking role I got, you talking about preparing for a role, was this SAG new media film called Replay. And it had the guy, what's his name, Christopher Tyler Williams from Everybody Hates Chris. He was the main guy in this, and I saw the audition, and they were like, must be able to dance. And I was like, well, hey, I used to dance like a month back in the day.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, I was Pop Lock City, turn on those on. They could nobody mess with me. And then, light skin, all this. Got to, we know how to do that.
So if we had old Black in here right now.
Hey, I could break it down. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, got to be able to dance. And they was like, this is for a cop. So when I went in, they was like, you cannot be afraid to dance. If you're afraid to dance or take your shirt off, then don't come for this role because we're serious. And I was like, what? A Magic Mike? What going? I'm thinking all kind of stuff. So I go to this interview, and I see a big guy in there. Got a jug of water, looked like he work out at the gym about 5 to 20 hours a day. He was a big old muscular looking dude. I said, oh, man. They might give it to him before I even auditioned, but then something in my mind was like, you can be scared or you can go in here and book this role. You know how to dance. You've been doing this all your life. Like, what are you afraid of? Go in there and book this role. So when I went in, she was like, okay, we're going to start the camera. We want you to, we want to see you dance and, unbutton your shirt and all that stuff. So
if it would be a scrapple.
That's what I found out the role was for, a stripper cop. I was a cop, stripper cop, however you want to say it.
So one walked in there and say, hey, I need you to break it down. And you take your shirt off. And
bro, you almost have my lines verbatim of what I had to say. My lines were, freeze, put your hands in the air, and prepare to be frisked.
Oh, Lord.
Then the clothes come off. Then the shirt come off. Then the pants unbuttoned. So when I auditioned for that, man, like, I just was like, I'm not scared. And you can't be scared when you go in for any audition. I was willing to do that. I was like, bro, I used to listen to Pony all the time.
I'm sorry. I could just see you talking. Prepare to be frisked.
Bro, I had Pony in my head.
You had to snap in the Genuine
They
mode.
didn't have no music. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, bow, 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 bow.
Oh, Lord.
I unbuttoned my shirt. And the girl, it was 2 girls in there. One was my scene partner. The other one on casting. I saw her kind of blush and put her head down and go, okay, yeah, we're gonna do the lines now.
Oh, wow.
And then they went back and told me to dance again one more time so they could get it on camera, which I think they already had it on camera. But anyway,
they just wanted they want a little more eye candy.
Yeah, they had hot flashes and all them things. But I booked. I remember when she called me. It was about a week later. Cause usually after an audition, if you don't hear anything back like soon, it's usually like you didn't get it.
Okay.
So about a couple days went by. I was like, oh, I ain't get it. Didn't get it. I was in some hotel and I got a phone call. She was like, Brandon? I was like, yeah. She was like, let's book this. They want you. I was like, what? I was like, what? Oh my God. Oh God. Okay.
So since that was your first speaking role, was that your hardest role, saying that you had to get over that initial fear, or did you experience anything that was worse than that?
No, because like after that first thing, it's like it's an internal battle that you go through. It's like either you're gonna do what you're meant to do, or you gonna fold. And every time I've had a major choice, those two options always come to the table. Like, you either gonna have faith, you either gonna believe in yourself, or either you gonna give up and go home. And it's the option of giving up and going home is always like, well, you know what that equals, but you don't know what having faith and actually trying to go through what your plan is going to produce. And every time I took that option, something great always happens.
Cool.
Always happens.
So, being on these different sets with people, I know you're not really allowed to release any information like that for real.
I'm gonna tell it all.
How many different actors and actresses have you met, and were some, you don't have to reveal the ones that were buttholes, but were some buttholes, were some like really nice, like,
yeah. That's the thing, man. When you in the industry and you see people that you've seen on TV, and then to see them in real life, for me, I just want to know that you're a decent person. Mm-hmm. So if I find out that you're not, like, you think you're higher because you're, let's say, Nicki Minaj, or like when I worked Barbershop 3, they was like, don't look at Nicki. She sent somebody home for just looking at her. I was like, what?
What?
I was like, well, if I want to look at Nicki, I got my own eyes. They're just going to have to send me home because it's Nicki Minaj. And she can't be that superficial to think nobody's not going to look at her. You're Nicki Minaj.
Right.
Why become a superstar? Why become an actor or celebrity if you don't want nobody looking at you? That's what it's all about, you know?
That's what I would imagine.
But, I mean, it's some really cool people, really cool actors out there. Marco Taylor from Straight Outta Compton. Met him on Step Up. I was standing in doing stand-in work. And when I tell you that's a cool brother, man. He treated me just like I was his, like, little brother from back in the day. You know, they all get their little chairs with their names on it. Those are, like, special. They don't want nobody sitting in them but the actor. So he had to go do a scene, and me and him was talking because he was in Baby Driver, and I'm in the first scene of Baby Driver as a cop. Coming out of the coffee shop, and then Baby takes off when he sees me. He was also in that movie, so that was a conversation we was having. They called him to go in, and then he was like, "Hey man, here." He was like, "Have a seat," and I'm like, "Oh no, man, I can't sit in that chair." He was like, "Sit down." So the PA girl comes over. She says, Brandon, yeah, you can't. And he was like, "Oh, he good."
Oh wow, boy, that must have felt good.
Oh
man.
boy, I was rubbing it.
But you like, oh, shut up.
yeah. This my dog. What's up? You know. He was cool, but
so was he the coolest, or like you met anybody that kind of, I guess, surprised you as far as how cool they were?
Will Smith. I just gotta go on to Will. I just gotta go on to the meat and potatoes, bro. Oh my God. Now I've met so many people that I normally don't get starstruck. When I saw The Rock, I wasn't starstruck.
I think I would have lost it. I saw The Rock.
You know, a little bit of me almost did, but I was like, okay, it's cool. It's cool.
Man, I would have been like, if you smell,
let me tell you something, jabroni.
It doesn't matter what you name.
Turn your cookie sideways and shove it up there. Yeah, all of that. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
It was there. It was going through my mind. But Will, I was in the makeup trailer. First of all, this was a camera test day for Bad Boys for Life, and I wasn't expecting to see him in this trailer. So I go in there, get my makeup stuff on that they doing the little test or whatever. I see him as soon as I walk in. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Will Smith. That's Will Smith. Oh God, don't smile. Keep calm. Keep cool. So he's in the chair getting his hair cut. He's getting faded, you know. And I see him, so I try to walk past him. I try to just go past him because I'm like, I need to be respectful. I need to be professional. I need to just let him do it. Don't ask him nothing. Don't ask for no pictures. Don't say nothing. He says, hey. Hey. I'm looking at him like, oh, he is talking to me. I'm like, yeah. He was like, welcome. And then he puts his hand out to shake my hand, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh God. Don't smile. Act normal. all in my head, I'm like, don't smile. At Norma, they're going to kick you out. Security going to get you. Just be calm. Be calm. He shook my hand, bro.
Man, that's awesome.
Shook my hand.
Did you wash your hand later?
I didn't for like 5 days, but then it got a little funky when I was trying to eat, so I had to go on and wash it, you know. But I've seen him, you know, times after that, and he shook my hand again. He goes out of his way. If he comes into a room and you're there, if he's talking to the producers, he will stop and say, hold on 1 second. And he will come up to you and say, how you doing, man? Shake your hand, then walk back and say, okay. Now, what were we talking about? Yeah, okay, yeah. So in this scene, blah, blah. He acknowledges you.
Oh, wow.
As a person. And then he moves on. I respect that guy so much. I respect any actor of that caliber who has, you know, so much, but yet they're still a human and they respond to human beings like, you're important. You're just as important as me. Just because I've been on TV or done this or done that, you're still important. I respect that.
Wow.
And that's how I would want to be, no matter how much fame, money. That's how I want to be.
So, as far, I mean, you done a lot. Like, name some more movies you've been in, and it's gonna help lead to my next question.
One of the ones that shot me was Walking Dead, when I did Walking Dead, because I didn't really watch it. But I had a nice little scene in there where I was in the water tower, and Rick was like, he was going to kill Negan for the hilltop. Mm-hmm. And they was running through the satellites, and Glenn and Heath ran into an armory that was Negan's armory. They got the guns and shot through the other side of the door, killing all of the people, so they thought. When they come back through the door, I'm on the wall, hanging on the wall, with my eyes closed, and I open my eyes, and I lift a gun up at Glenn and Heath like I'm about to shoot them. And then Jesus shoots me from the other side. And I say, if I had to go any way, I'm glad it was this way. Jesus took me out. So,
hey, you made me forget my question, man. Well, I did mention that you act, you produce. Like, how long have you been doing music, and is that something that you still do now?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I still do music now. I started doing music back in the day. Like, How old was I when I started doing, like, making beats? I was, like, 17.
So, like, did you ever plan on incorporating that, like, as far as getting behind the scenes and scoring or having something to do with the soundtrack? Because watching certain movies, like, I went to go see Us. The music in there was perfect, you know, and you can hear some original music, because it was some songs that I never heard before. Right. And I'm like, man, this soundtrack is going to be crazy. It's been a long time for me to actually think about the soundtrack to a movie. Right. And I'm like, oh, wow. They even put out a video with the Loonies featuring Crazy Bone, and they redid I Got 5 on it. Wow. But it's called I Got 5 on Us. Now, wow. So they talking about scary movie stuff and all that. You ever plan on doing something like that, or? Man,
if I get the chance, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I am definitely doing it, because music was like one of my first passions. Dancing and then music. And it's just, music makes the scene, man. Like, if it's the right music, it can do some major things. You know, it can make you cry. It can make you happy. It can make you angry. And that's just cool. That's just a power of being a creative, man. And that's what I learned. Like, you're a creative. My man here's a creative. It's like it's almost like we know each other. I'm getting off topic a little bit, but to me, it's like that. It's like we know each other. We feel the same things, and we have like a brotherhood that's there without even saying it. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I know.
We're going to do some work after the show. So
that's what I'm saying, man.
I definitely feel you. Yeah. But for the sake of time, how can people find you? Like, all your social media outlets, everything. So if they want to book you.
They want to book me, you know. Well, my Facebook is Brandon Dunn, Dunn, and my Instagram is Marco_Majors. I got two different names because I wanted to separate the two.
Bipolar.
The acting. Yeah, it's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit, yeah. But I gotta consolidate, turn it into one. One for the music, one for the acting. I just need just like Jamie Foxx, let's turn it into one. So y'all follow me. So
if you got like a reel or anything that they could check out online or anything?
Yeah, matter of fact, me and Bobby Sampson from Trilogy, we shot a nice
That's what we're
trailer.
trying to get up in here soon too.
Oh yeah, definitely got to get Big Bob in here, man. We got a nice trailer we did for Break and Run, true story that was about a bank robber here in Columbus. And it was a nice.
It's a dope trailer.
Yeah.
It got me in it. I was like, oh snap.
Yeah, it makes you want to see more, and Bobby is trying to push. He's really trying to push to get some funding so that we can do more with that. And that's my thing. I just want to be a part of great productions. I want nice productions. That's all.
All right. We always get people to do two movies, to refer two movies.
Mm-hmm.
We want a classic and we want one that's current, if possible.
A classic and let me see,
Preferably two that you've been in.
Oh, well, that's hard. Classic, and a classic movie.
What's the one you had to do
Bruh,
the cop scene?
There's a replay. There's like a series, man. I was telling him, I was like, man, my mama can't see this. Now, y'all don't let my mama see this because I keep stripping my pants off and my shirt off. I can't, But old movies, man, I'm going to go back to my roots now. I'm a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan.
Okay.
I like Bloodsport, Kickboxer, all of
Jean-Claude.
Yeah.
What was his name? Chun Li.
I swear they killed me when they made Van Damme Gaia in Street Fighter. I was like, he should have been Ryu. Duh. Like I did. Anyway, you didn't ask me that. So the future movie for the present. I want to see Us. I want to see that movie you talking about. That would be my recommendation.
It was dope.
I know
it was dope.
I know. I believe
it's not what you think it is, though.
I believe in my soul that that's a dope movie.
It was dope. Like I was interested the whole time, but it's not what you think it is.
It's
though.
not.
You're gonna be like, huh? The whole time I'm like,
So
okay,
miss
what
with
does
your
that
head.
mean? What does this mean? Why are you throwing this in there? Why is that like that? Hold on, let me look this up in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just all sorts of stuff.
Keep you thinking.
Yeah,
that's
and
what a
then
good movie should do.
When you get to the end of the movie, you're like, oh, hey, no. And then you get up, then it's the end of the movie.
Wow.
Like, you know how tragic the ending was for the Avengers?
Infinity. I was thinking that before you said it.
Right.
Yes.
And it just cuts off.
Yeah, I was mad.
It's kind of like that. But it doesn't just abruptly cut off. You can tell it's getting ready to end.
Okay.
And it's like, I was sitting during the credits a little bit. Mm-hmm. I was like, maybe something else going to pop up. This can't be the end.
Right, this came
Then I want to ask one of the workers, did something pop up after the credits? He said, no, man, I thought it did too. I said, God. I said,
that's
man,
the
he
hook.
did all that just so we could.
That's the
okay.
That's the hook.
Right.
That's the hook. You gonna watch the next one. You gonna watch it. That's the hook.
But I don't know if it can be it. It can. He did
always.
his job.
Mm-hmm.
He confuses you. You stay. The suspense was there.
Mm-hmm.
The music was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's his name? Even George Lucas said 50% of the experience is the audio.
True.
And I'm just like, oh, stop. He even had, F the Police by NWA, and they played pretty much the whole song. I mean, the whole song during a fight scene. So I'm like, oh, snap.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but hey, I really appreciate you coming on, man. You blessed us. I think it was a very informative interview. These folks gonna like it, and
yeah, man,
we're gonna work.
Yes, sir.
Where I was gonna say something mean, but I'm gonna be nice.
It's all good. Do it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, appreciate that interview, Lack, man. Got to tell you, I'm jealous. He got to work with Will Smith, man.
Bruh.
The Fresh Prince.
Man, I would have been up there cheesing like old buddy from Coming to America the whole time, boy. I would have been there, hey,
I mean, he got to work with Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. I'm jealous.
I mean,
man.
but he was also on a set. He was on Fast and the Furious
with The Rock and Vin Diesel,
and then I mean, he's seen everybody.
Tyrese, Ludacris. All right, Brandon, I'm hating on you for 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes, then I'm gonna congratulate you. All right, let's move on. I don't want to keep talking about Brandon.
Yeah, man. Everybody liking my Instagram post just because he on it. Nah, you know you're my boy, man. And yeah, like I said, I mean, he a good dude overall, real good dude, man. And here's something funny. Me and this guy grew up pretty much in the same neighborhood, knew all of the same people, but we never ran across each other. I get out of the military, I settle down, I get a crib over there in the Ivy Park subdivision. The guy lives right down the street from me for over a year, and I didn't know it. and you know, me and him, we both were working with the late great Syke Pacino.
Rest in peace, Syke.
That's how we ended up linking.
For you 80s and 90s fans, Bill and Ted 3 officially has a title and a release date.
With no George Carlin.
No George Carlin.
But they're going to give him a tribute, though.
Yeah, they said they would. And William Sadler is returning as Death. That's pretty cool.
Excellent.
I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I know a lot of people are excited.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like that the way I feel about Coming to America too. I
feel like it's too late, man. Alex Winter is so old now. He looks old.
I mean, Keanu Reeves starting to look a little old too.
But he's in better shape than Alex Winter.
Yeah.
He's in better shape. And then, like watching them from the 80s and 90s, their personalities fit that time zone. You know,
yeah.
Excellent party time. They fit it. They were rock and roll guys and wearing the sweaters around their waist. And
yeah.
I don't know, man. I love the movies. Don't get me wrong, for their time.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't know if I could watch a new one.
Right. I'm thinking we're probably going to have to just wait for a trailer and see what they do with it. I mean, because, like, Bill and Ted. Who else is in that?
It was Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, William Sadler, George Carlin. Really, the girls, I don't remember their name. I don't think they ever blew up or anything.
But, I mean, I think if they drop a dope enough trailer, it may at least spark our interest. But this is something really shaky, though, just like Coming to America. They have a cult following who still can watch the stuff now. And
yeah, you know what? When you just asked me who was all in there, when you think about it, back then, Keanu Reeves was a nobody.
Yeah,
there was no
really
Matrix yet, no Speed. He was just.
I think Speed was the first one where I really started recognizing him.
Or did you check it out, or you kind of wait till like it starts available for streaming or something?
That's one of them ones I probably have to.
You will watch it, all right?
I'm gonna watch it, but as far as going to the theater, they will have to convince me because, like, back to the Aladdin thing. When I saw that first little snippet where they show him in the genie, I was like, ew. But then when I seen the full trailer and I seen him actually acting as the genie, then I was like, okay, this looks dope. The only person they need to fix is Jafar, but it's enough for me to actually want to go to the theater.
Yeah, the full trailer was more convincing. And
yeah.
All right, let's move on now. Lack, you asked for this. You're about to get it.
What?
My Transformer rant. All right, Lack, here we go. The Transformer rant. I'm just going to do part one today because I could actually talk about Transformers all day. So I'm just going to stick with the very first one with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, okay?
Transformers, roll out.
All right, Lack. My first issue with Transformers.
I mean, dang, you ain't got nothing good to say at all to at least start it off with?
No, we're going to start off bad stuff.
Oh, goodness.
Right. My first issue with it is, how are they not the main characters of their own movie? I don't understand that. When you watch the cartoon, Spike and Sparkplug, yeah, they're in it. They got minor roles though, man. They pop up here and there. They help out from time to time. There's like maybe 2 episodes where Spike is like the main character, but people are there to see Transformer, and it took a whole hour for Optimus Prime to be in this movie. That's just ridiculous, man. So okay, let's move on from that. So Shia LaBeouf, Megan Fox, they should not be the main character. It should have been the robots, the Transformer, whether it's Autobots or Decepticons. Mm-hmm. All right, now let's get on to my other gripes now. Frenzy. I love Frenzy in the movie, but my favorite Decepticon is Soundwave. So when I see Frenzy, I expect to see Soundwave because Frenzy was a cassette inside of Soundwave in the movie.
I remember.
Yeah. So why isn't Soundwave in this movie, and why is Frenzy with Barricade when Barricade was not part of G1 in the U.S. line? He was part of the G1 in the Japanese line.
Okay.
So Barricade, I don't have a problem with him being in the movie, but why is he with Frenzy? They should not be together. Okay. Another gripe, Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher, I don't know if you remember him in the movie, Lack, but he was in the scene where they were on the highway and he was like skating and then Optimus Prime ripped his head off.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like one of my favorite scenes.
Oh, it's a dope scene. That's not what I have a problem with. The problem I have with it is Bone Crusher is part of the Constructicons. So you kill Bone Crusher, how can you have the Constructicons now? So now you can't do a Devastator, which is the giant Constructicons all form into one big robot.
Right.
All right, so you kill Bone Crusher.
Hold up, I thought Devastator was like that big old planet.
No, that's Unicron.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not up on my Transformers game, y'all. I'm sorry. Don't shoot me.
So now, also, when you watch the first movie, there's a bad guy tank, a Decepticon tank. His name is Brawl. That is his correct name. But why in the movie, in the captions or subtitles, whatever you want to call it, they named him Devastator. And I just specifically said 1 minute ago, Devastator is the name of the Constructicons when they're all together as one big robot. So they screwed up his name.
Oh.
Yeah. And then you kill off the black robot.
Jazz. Yeah.
They killed him off, man. That was Optimus Prime's lieutenant, man. Like, yeah, Jazz didn't have a major role in every episode in the cartoon.
And he was a Pontiac.
Oh, yeah.
And I can understand if he was a GTO or something like that. But he was that little itty bitty convertible, bro. Jazz.
Yeah, so those are a few issues I have with the first one. You know, the fact that it took an hour just to see the robot. You know, the Megatron and Starscream thing, I thought that worked out. They did that pretty good. But how you don't have Soundwave in that movie when Frenzy was there and then Megatron was not Megatron, but Soundwave was the most loyal soldier to Megatron. So if you saw the 1986 movie The Transformers, when Megatron got dealt with by Optimus Prime, was left there to die, he said, Soundwave, don't leave me. He said, I do as you command, Lord Megatron. He picked him up and took him. You know what I'm saying? Soundwave was that loyal when Starscream just kicked him and left him there to rot. So why wasn't Soundwave in this movie? Answer for me, Lack.
Man,
I'm mad.
You're asking the wrong person. What about I remember my cousin DJ Sleepy talking about Starscream.
Mm-hmm. Starscream was straight in the movie. They did his character straight. I didn't have no problem with that. You know. And then another issue I had with the movie was there were so many side stories in there. You had the Shia LaBeouf story. You had the girl hacker with what's the guy's name? Anthony. What's his name? The one in Blackish.
Anderson.
Anthony Anderson. They had their side story. You had the story with the military people with Tyrese. It was just too much, man. It was so much going on, man. Bumblebee, I didn't have a problem with him. I thought they did his character justice. You know, he's always been like an angel. He was the one that drove Spike in the cartoon. So him with Shia, didn't have an issue with that, you know. Ironhide.
Hey, that was a dope truck, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I liked Ironhide in the movie. Truck. He was kind of more raw, though, more hardcore. In the movie, they showed it a little bit.
Yeah.
But they didn't. I felt like they didn't show it enough. He was always a soldier, you know?
Yeah.
He kind of reminded me of Motron Above the Rim, Tupac soldier. You know,
Great reference.
yeah. So that's my main issue with part one. You know what? I'll just do a little bit of part two real quick. I'll make it quick. First of all, who the hell is Fallen? I ain't never heard of him. I ain't never seen him in no cartoon.
You talking about
The main bad guy in part two.
the red guy?
He was like red and blue and black. I don't know what the hell he was.
He looked like an old robot, like he could age.
Yes. Man, I don't know who the hell he was. I ain't never heard of him. Then they had the twins, that mud slap. I don't know what the heck they were called, man.
You talking about the two
The little ice cream truck thing.
the black guys.
Man, what the hell was that? Everybody knows the real twins are Soundstreak and Sideswipe. Why weren't they in that movie? That just killed me, man. And then they finally brought Soundwave. He was an antenna. They had Ravage and Laserbeak, which I'm fine with, which was cool. But Soundwave was an antenna. Out in space. Not really involved. Pissed me off, man. Really pissed me off. Wheeljack was in Dark Moons. Let's stick with the Fallen movie. I didn't like the Optimus Prime died. Shia LaBeouf died. But then guess what? At the end of the movie, they're back to life. That was just stupid. All right, man. I'm not even going to... wait. I'm not even done with part two, man. I just remember something. They brought Devastator in there now. They corrected the name, and all the Constructicons were in the movie, but Bone Crusher died in the first movie, so how is Devastator in this movie? I'm confused.
Magic.
It was magic?
It was magic.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? I'm done with this for right now. Let's just move on, man. I'll just keep ranting all day. You see, I barely even spoke on part two. Lack. Avengers. Next month.
Endgame. Reportedly is 3 hours and some change long.
Yeah, I think I saw 3 hours and 2 minutes.
And I'm going to be there for every second of it.
I don't care. It's 3 hours and 2 minutes. I think it's going to be good.
If it's good, you won't even be able to tell it's 3 hours and 2 minutes.
It has to be 3 hours and 2 minutes with so many characters, so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got to go shifting from story, plot here, plot there, and then everybody got to see Thanos.
Yeah.
He's got to be in the movie, here and there.
Everybody wants to see Thanos get the crap beat out of him. That is what they are expecting. And they're going to have to put something in there showing that he's going to get beat up because most of the people aren't returning. So he's going to have to lose somehow unless they, I don't know. I'm hoping after they do this one, they're going to go over to Ultimate Avengers or something. Mm-hmm. And even though they're probably going to mix that up too. And because, I know at one point, Bucky was Captain America. Falcon was Captain America. Spider-Man led him. Wolverine ended up being in there. Blade ended up being in there. That'd be a perfect way for them to bring Blade in because there's been so many people wanting to see Blade come out, and they want Wesley to do it. So they're going to have to find a way to bring Blade in there. I don't care what they do, how they do it. They got to bring Blade and Deadpool in there some way, somehow. And they got... now that they done got the rights to a lot of stuff, I think they're going to try to include the Fantastic Four and all. Because they have to. If they're going to continue going forward, a lot of them were included because they got the Secret Wars and they got a World War Hulk and they bring the Illuminati in, and the Illuminati was like Tony Stark and 3 other members. I can't remember. Was it Professor X? I can't remember, but all of it gets mashed into one big story. Mm-hmm. So it's so much more potential for them to keep moving forward. But these guys been playing these characters for a long time, and I think they're tired of it.
All right, Lack, I got to say something sad about Avengers. Stan Lee's last cameo.
That's what I heard. But there's another thing going around that I heard that Spider-Man's gonna be his last one.
Oh, he got another cameo?
From what I heard, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I haven't been able to confirm it, but what is it? Far From Home, the new one that's coming out. I'm hearing a lot of people reportedly saying that that's his last one.
I hope so, man. I'm not ready to say goodbye to him.
Yeah, I think after Far From Home, that's it.
I did like his cameo in that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, man. I'm going to miss those cameos. He had some really good ones. Some, man, just they threw him in, got him out of there.
I still love that Tony Stank. That was oh my God. That one was hilarious, man. Stan Lee, he's an icon. He's a legend. There's never going to be anybody like him. He was humble. He is the epitome of Marvel.
He's the GOAT right now, man.
Even when he was in Big Hero 6, he played that part perfect. I turn him front. I turn him back, inside out.
Even though...
He's talking about underwear for those who haven't seen Big Hero 6.
Spoiler alert. Even though we know he's gone, it's going to be sad seeing it. It's like we're finally going to get to say goodbye one last time if it is his last cameo, or we know it's coming soon, It's going to be hard, man.
Yeah, I almost teared up while I was watching Captain Marvel.
All right, but I am excited for Avengers. I can't wait to see this. I might have to. I never go day one, so I might go like day 3. I usually go on Sundays to see these type of movies, and I just try to stay away from social media, because too many people I know just spoil things. All right, like Will Smith's Bucket List, the Facebook show.
Dope.
Oh, you seen it?
Yes.
Oh, well, tell us about it. I haven't seen it yet.
You ain't seen it?
No, I've only seen the trailers for it, man. I'm excited. I want to see it.
Okay, I've only seen one episode. I saw the episode where he wanted to do stand-up comedy. And you don't realize how tough stand-up comedy is until Will got to do it. And he had to get pointers from Dave Chappelle. Like, he called up Dave Chappelle. Like, Dave Chappelle just started, like, getting on him, like, as soon as he got to him. He's like, dude, you're Will freaking Smith. You can go out there and mess up, and it's still going to be funny because you're you. Just be yourself and things of that nature. So he gets very detailed. I know he's done things like wanting to go bungee jumping and doing this, that, and the other. And but that as far as the stand-up comedy one, like, it was weird because you seen the real Will Smith. He got nervous. Like, it's Will freaking Smith. He don't get nervous. It's Mike Lowry. You know what I'm saying? It's the Fresh Prince. He don't get nervous. So to see him actually get nervous, it was weird. Because I'm like, dang. But at the same time, it was like comforting because it's like he's human.
The show is basically about him trying to conquer his fears, right? Mm-hmm. So to stand up, I saw the preview. It had him skydiving. I'm excited because, even though he's had a lot of success, I'm sure he has fears. There's things he still want to overcome and conquer,
Right.
Yeah, so I'm definitely interested. I'm definitely going to probably start checking it out this weekend.
And there's another little show on there that I watch called Nourish. It's a rocket scientist. Like, he's literally a rocket scientist. Mm-hmm. Who's interested in food. So he goes around to different cultures, and like he goes to the Geechee in South Carolina, or he'll go down to the Cajuns in New Orleans, and and the episodes only be anywhere between 8 to 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And they'll give you a whole history. They'll show the food, where it came from, the whole night. I think that's a pretty nice show to watch as well, because like, I learned some stuff. And it's entertaining.
All right, Lack, you got anything you want to recommend to our viewers right now?
Man, I just did.
Besides that?
I don't know.
Nothing? I'm going to recommend a TV series on Netflix. It's been out quite a while, but I just finally got into it and gave it a shot. It's called 13 Reasons Why. Have you seen that one, Lack?
Yes.
I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it.
I mean, bruh. Oh, my God.
I didn't like season 2. But I loved season 1. Season 1 was just awesome, man. You know, the tapes getting passed on from each person to the next person, and it told the whole story.
And you're trying to figure out, like, who did it?
Yeah.
Who convinced them? You know, and I mean, it was dope, man. I liked it.
I mean, it's not a spoiler because you find out the first episode that the girl committed suicide.
Right, but you're like kind of trying to figure out why.
Yeah, why?
And you're trying to figure out like who convinced her or who was the cause or, you know, and matter of fact, my partner Sam put me onto that. And I was just like, yo, this is dope.
Yeah, I liked it, man. It was entertaining because like some of the characters, they look like bad guys and then they turned like, it made them look good, and then they went back to bad. And then some people look like sweet angels, but then they got like mystery bullying in them, you know? So it was just awesome, guys. I'm not spoiling nothing right now because these are things you figure out through the first episode. If you haven't seen it, I know it's been out for a while, so a lot of people probably seen it. But if you haven't, give it a check out, man. It's called 13 Reasons Why. I'm a fan of season 1. Season 2, not so much, but you get a conclusion to it. You get some closure more to the story.
I like the Umbrella Academy.
I have not seen that yet, but I do want to see it because Ellen Page is in it. I like
and it
her.
doesn't have a lot of episodes in there, but it is dope, and they've already approved season 2 because I guess it was received so well. I guess a brief overview. All of them that are a part of the Umbrella Academy have powers, and some of those powers are very unique. And Ellen Page's character is actually kind of a low self-esteem having. I'm kind of like, I wish I was a part of the team, but I ended up not having powers to finding out I do have powers, and her powers are freaking phenomenal. So, like, yeah, I would definitely recommend the Umbrella Academy. And they have season 3 of the Badlands on there as well. If you love, like, really cool post-apocalyptic kung fu action, all of that, get it. It is awesome.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. Like I've been hearing about it, man. Show I do plan to watch this weekend. I haven't really started on it yet, but I keep hearing everybody talk about is Riverdale. So I'm give it a few episodes, see how it goes, and hopefully I can get into it.
What is that?
Riverdale. It's a Netflix show. No, it's not. It's on Netflix, but it's not a Netflix show. It's a CW show. It's based off the characters from Archie comics.
Oh.
Yeah, Archie, Jughead, Betty, and Veronica, and all that. But it's supposed to be like more like crime solving and mystery, I think. Yeah, a lot of people said that they compared it to 13 Reasons Why. So, which is why I want to check it out. You know, at least give it a shot. If I don't like it, just let it go after a few episodes. You know.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll give it a try. I pretty much give a lot of things a try and see what happens. But all right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here on our second episode of the Chameleon Media Podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We're on iTunes now. We're on Spotify now. We're on SoundCloud, YouTube. We should be on Amazon and Stitcher pretty soon. So let us know if there's another platform you would like for to hear us on. We're also on Podbean. That's our hosting site. Lack, you want to say anything before we head out?
No.
Nothing you want to say?
No.
Lack's being mean, y'all. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all listening in. We're out.
You know what? I got some.
Go ahead.
No.
You're an idiot. All right, guys. Don't forget to rewind those VHS tapes. So please be kind and rewind. And we're outro.